Okay, hi guys. Thank you so much for joining us. This Zoom recap is for those that came and those that didn't come. And we, I have to explain to you that in the beginning of the weekend, we were taken into a room in the back of the restaurant, and everybody that was in our team invited to go into that room. Looked like the Last Supper, a real big long table. And then when people came in, they sat down and we shut the doors, and then we passed out NDAs, non-disclosure agreement. And everybody had to sign before we could tell them what's going to happen, what's coming, and what has been worked on. And it's just specifically for our group. Now, unfortunately, we can't tell all of you because some of you were not there. But we will have another Zoom, and I think we should, don't you, Keller? We should have another Zoom where when we
Absolutely.
can explain, we will
We
let
will.
them all know.
We will
So,
have another Zoom. We'll have to.
yeah. And that's the way to entice you to be on for sure. Dr. Vicky, myself, and Valerie, we decided we wanted to do this. I said we'll probably have to do it next week because I'm not even home. I'm borrowing a laptop. And of course, Valerie and Vicky picked
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. And by the way, everybody,
got somebody's on double.
yeah, everybody go on mute. And
I'll mute.
that
I'll
way
mute
we
everybody,
won't
then
have-
unmute you. 1 second here.
Okay.
All right. And you can all unmute yourselves as well. Here, let me see if I can do it. Unmute. 1 second here. Becky.
Okay, I'm unmuted. And this meeting is being recorded, so I'm going to say okay. Okay, are we good to go?
Yes, Valerie and Dr. Vicky, you just need to unmute yourself too.
Okay, Valerie and Dr. Vicky, unmute. Unmute, Valerie. There
Perfect.
you go.
Great job.
Okay. How many network marketers take to screw on a light bulb? No. So here's the deal. A lot of you guys were not there, but a lot of you were, and you heard some amazing things. And that's why, Larry, we were really bummed you weren't there. But we're going to have another Zoom shortly because something's going to be coming up quickly that's going to be amazing and just for us. As I said, I was going to do this next week because I'm still in Texas, but Valerie and Vicky had a pitch to fit because they didn't want any time to go by. Since time is of the essence and what just happened, we're quite amazed. Vicky, go ahead, say a few words, and then Valerie say a few words, and then we're going to bring on Chelsea. Is Chelsea here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. Because we have to get her out the door with her kids. So go ahead, Vicky.
Okay, well, we're happy to see all of you. There's quite a few of you on this call. This is good. We got to team up, guys. We got to team up and get in sync. We're an army, and we've got to walk together, march together with this. It's huge what's happening, and a lot of people are getting their life back, and we have to unite together and stick together to get this to happen. Better in numbers. So that's really what happened over the weekend. That's what happened over the weekend as we developed a camaraderie and the feeling that we have to all be together on this and go forward. And like Mark said, Mark Aceta, he said, it's work. It's not a lotto ticket being in this company. It's work. And I believe that we were all called to do this, and many of you have really felt that need and calling. And for many of us, it's round two. Another many of us was not known to the world. Not even the science was known. And we pioneered that. And I think that was just training for us, most of us who were in that company, because this is going to really take us across the world because it's simple. We know what to do. We've all been trained. We've had the ups, the downs. We've had the heartaches. We had to fall down. We picked ourselves up many times in our company. So we're just wanting to have this and start something where we can all be together. Doesn't matter where you are in this company. We're all sticking together. Nobody's caring if they're in your group or not. They're going to help you anyway. So, Jack, you want to get going here?
Yeah,
Or Valerie?
Valerie's got to put her words in.
Yes, it was a wonderful time, and I have to last weekend, and I have to say as well that um, we have gone through a few things because it's the very beginning of where we are going. And every single time you start at the beginning, you're going to have little hiccups, little whatever it is you need, but that's when you need to be there. That's when you need to build because when you are there at the beginning, the opportunity is sensational. So we put up with whatever it is. And the thing that is the strongest for me, and what I have found over the last 10 months or so since I've been involved, is that the people who are at the top of this company are honest, they are moral, they love God, they are insanely wonderful. I have not been around so sweetly surprised at how wonderful these people are because, frankly, those of us who've been in network marketing, affiliate marketing, or whatever before, we know that we have to somehow just ignore things if we want to keep going in a company, and pretty soon you just can't ignore it. So what we've got is something we can rely upon. We have everything that we need to be in the place that we need to go. And yeah, I would say it was just lovely this weekend. It was so wonderful to be with my team and other people and people on other teams and meet people all over the place. It was just really, really fun and very rewarding. So thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you. The first person we are going to have tonight is a little gal from my group, and her name is Chelsea. And Chelsea was there with her mom, Michelle, this weekend. And Chelsea, we would love it if you would jump on right now and tell us what the weekend meant for you and what you have done in the meantime, because I know you have to jump off a little early and do something with your kids. So would you share with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So, just for the sake of honesty, I'll say that I walked into boot camp feeling a little disappointed in myself because I had a goal in mind that I really wanted to be at to justify to myself going, and I did not hit that goal. But I said, I'm going anyway, and I'm gonna I need to go. So I went, and I walked out with just a complete renewed sense of purpose and that excitement that I felt and that spark I felt when I first joined back in March, like it was totally reignited. And just confidence in what we have after listening to Dr. Bowers and like the trainings, definitely just grew my confidence in what we are sharing with people. And so my big takeaway from the trainings with Mark was massive action. So you have to be willing to do something. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. You have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone and just go all in. We have incredible tools at our disposal, and there's no excuse for not learning how to use them and being proficient in them. So that is I came home, I slept for 3 hours, I got up, and I immediately started sending out invites to Campfire, and I've sent out 50 invites.
Wow.
And I've just felt like, okay, I have the momentum now. And that was because I went and I was there and I heard the stories and I got to meet Dr. Bowers and I got to meet all these incredible people. I got to meet Dr. Renee finally. And yeah, I feel the momentum and the confidence again, and I'm very excited. So
Fantastic. Chelsea, were you in the room with the NDAs?
I was, yes,
Okay, so I know you're keeping your mouth shut,
I
but
am.
are you excited?
Yes, yes. And I
Awesome.
have to tell myself to stay off of social media so I don't blab my big mouth because,
Very good. Thank you, Chelsea. That was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Okay, the next subtle, quiet woman we'd like for you to hear from is Beth. Beth Derby. Are you there, Beth?
I'm here.
Tell
Subtle
us
and
what
quiet, huh?
Tell us what happened. I mean, the attitude that you had walking in, but also before you left. And I watched you, so give us a few seconds on that.
Okay. So, if anybody read Steve Chilette's post that he put in our group this morning about small beginning season, like, wow, that really spoke to me, Steve, if you're here. But that's how I felt going in. I felt like, I believe in this. I've had great results. I've been talking to a lot of people, but things have been moving, kind of slow. And I hadn't plugged into team very much, just kind of working with Dr. Vicky, and she's been amazing. So I walked in, well, and when they first announced boot camp, like I've been to events before, and I know that I really enjoy going to events. So as soon as it was announced for boot camp, I registered right away, and I knew, like, God just spoke to me, you have to do it. And I was kind of thinking, gosh, I sure would like to be able to go to my husband and go, I've made this much money, and therefore I can justify going to this. But I just did it, and he supported me. So, anyway, when I go to these events, like this one in particular, it was not just an event. There's a lot of rah-rah at all events, but this was just a whole different feel. There was so much meat, there was so much training, and it solidified my belief in the products and in the company. Honestly, getting to see all of the leadership within the company is just amazing, and knowing that they're just all regular people and they're kingdom focused and they're just amazing. And so that really spoke to me. And then when you have all of these like top earners in the company, I don't know if I just think that they magically get there, or if I even really ever think about it. But seeing them get up and tell their stories, I would venture to say every single one of them has had like just traumatic stories, and then now like everything built back up, and where they are now, and it helped me to go, you know what, I've had some traumatic stories too, and all of them are doing this, I can do this too. And so I was a little down on myself because I do feel like I've been talking to a lot of people. And when Mark Aceta, who was the trainer, he was amazing. And he did this particular training as the gambler. And some ladies around me, Lisa being one of them, and Candy, were patting me on the shoulder because, I'm thinking he's talking to me. And I had had a conversation with them. So they both said, he's talking to you. So just flipping the cards, waiting till you get an ace, and how long that may take, and then you may get two or three in a row. And anyway, that I wasn't doing anything wrong. I just need to keep being persistent and focus on the fact that I'm going to be helping people, whether it's with product or finances or both. So that was pretty amazing. And it was amazing getting to spend time with Dr. Vicky and Jackie. It's been years since I've seen them in person, and getting to plug into team, meeting the other team members, and, exchanging numbers, and just the support that I felt in conversations that we had, that really was great too. Going into the closed door meeting with the NDAs, that was, wow, talk about feeling like a team, and just what's coming is really special, and I'm so excited about that. But I just, at the last session with Mark talking, I'm just frantically writing my action list. Like, instead of just leaving going, oh, I'm so pumped up, I left with, like, this is what I'm doing. These are these specific things that I'm going to be doing that are going to help me go forward in this business. So much motivation, much fun. And I'm so excited to see what's coming.
And what was the text you sent us?
I wrote on my spiral, I will be Emerald by March for the next event. And I took a picture of it and I sent it to Vicky and Jackie. And I just, sometimes I feel silly with stuff like that. And then I just felt it. I'm like, no, it's happening. And I honestly feel like, okay, that's the minimum, that it's going to be more. I want it
Well,
to
you
be
might
more.
feel silly, but we passed it all over the place.
Did you?
And everybody goes, wow, that's great. So in just tying this up a little bit, you came to me and told me about, I think, your sister or sister-in-law. Right at the end, people are getting up and we're leaving.
I
And
told you
asked
about my
me something.
sister-in-law. Yes.
Yeah. And what was the last thing you told me?
Um, I'm trying to remember.
You call them.
Yeah, that she's going to be going with me to Missouri to
Right.
the next event, the Momentum event. She was like, yep, I'm on board. Sign me up. So I'm excited to be taking her, and for all of the other people I'm going to be taking as well. I got a couple of vouchers. I already have my ticket. I have her ticket, and just the expectation that I'm going to have a team there to meet all
Right.
of the rest of our team.
And it was that impressive and that, I don't know, what's the word? It was that impressive
Impactful.
and impactful that you had to go ahead and get that done right away.
Absolutely. If I got this much out of boot camp, and then all the things that they were saying that they're going to be training on at Momentum in Missouri, like I just know I had to be there. So I
Yep. And
signed
you
up
have
right
to
away.
bring people. 100%.
And I have to bring people. I was so disappointed. And I knew I would be getting to this event and not having anybody with me. And you're just sitting there thinking, oh, I wish all of my people are hearing this. But
yeah.
I'll
But
work with them.
and we're going to talk about this at the end of this hour, so you guys know what we're talking about, where we're going and where you're all going as well. But is Michael Vanderhoof on? Thank you, Beth. That's
Yep, you bet.
Thank you.
I had to unmute myself. I'm here. Thank you. Hi, Vic. Hi, Jackie. How you doing? So, you asked me to talk a little bit about my experience of boot camp. Well, let me just say my experience of MPG and Fix was the first experience I had with it.
We're going to look for Dr. Renee.
Can you hear me?
No.
Oh, there, we can hear somebody.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, is volume okay? I got mine turned up.
Yeah, can you guys
Yeah.
hear Michael?
I could hear him fine the whole time. So go ahead, Michael.
Okay, right
great.
on. Go, Michael. Tell us how you were before you walked in and how you were when you walked out.
Well, I was excited when I really got my head around what Fix does in the vagus nerve and the whole system that we know about. When I looked into the timing of where we're at and the tools, I'll just talk briefly about that. The tools, to see something like ACE was just amazing to me, to have a tool that would tell the story. I've been successful in another startup company, and the problem I ran into is I was telling the story all the time, and people were having to come to me to hear the story or do three ways or that kind of thing. To have the ability to tell this story by way of some small introduction, but then the video actually telling the story and the details and the doctors or whatever the case may that was appropriate. That made it so that the person I was talking to could share it and do the same thing rather than being stuck and having to come back to me. So that impressed me just before the boot camp. Boot camp basically solidified belief in the company and the people running it, in the business structure, in the fact that with a binary like this, we're really all supporting each other, either directly or because that's just how the people are. And I think that what I'm looking forward to in the, I guess we're calling it now the Take Back Your Life rather than the boot camp, but the idea that you've got a place that is in essence a social media function that we can control. We don't have to worry about being kicked out of Facebook because they don't like what we posted, or the ad revenue or algorithms were off or whatever. To have something where you've got the ability to share tools, testimonials, doctor, science, whatever. And I know we're early on in that process, but I can see where that's going. And that I've never seen in any other. I've been in 11 different marketing companies over the last 40 years. I've never seen anything close to that. And so I think we're onto something very unique, very special. I love the binary compensation plan. I've been very successful with it before. It works really well, and it's a very tight business structure. And I love Mark Aceta. He was, it's great to know that we've got that level of training that's sort of an ongoing support structure. It's not, oh, we got a different speaker this month or that kind of thing. So just everything about it, it really, I think, solidifies belief when you get to an event like that. You need to be around the people, feel the energy of the people, feel the energy of the people that own it and run it, and the leaders that are making it all happen and pulling it all together. So for
And
me,
you already set up a Zoom, didn't you?
yeah, I've been doing 3 a week at this point. Yeah. So we've been with
Good for
Vaughn
you.
Stevens. Thank you. Thank you, Vaughn. She's been very helpful. And yeah, so it's been great. I'm looking forward to a great run at this. So
That's awesome, Michael. Thank you. We are too.
yes.
And hush. Okay,
Yes.
we're looking for Dr. Renee right now because I sprung something on her and she had a patient. And there she is. Hi, Dr. Renee.
Hi.
Okay, I asked you to talk about the greens a little bit because we got introduced to all of us to 2 new products and also something else I think you guys are going to love. But I wanted Dr. Renee, because she started telling me how she felt as she went in and how she felt when she came out. And I said, okay, you have to repeat that exactly. She goes like, what did I say? Just do it. So what happened to you, Renee?
Okay. Well, first of all, I was at the Kuchara event, which was, I loved it. It was a much smaller event, and I felt like it was my first exposure to Byron and Jim Denzine and what our branch of the company is. And I was so impressed with their integrity and with their experience and all that. So I already had a taste of that coming in and expected more of that here. What I had been thinking about for leading up to the meeting was in my practice, I'm a functional medicine doctor. So I see 1 patient per hour. So that's 8 people a day. Most of my patients cycle through 4 times a year or at the very least twice a year. And so I've been in 6 months now. So most of my patients I've already presented this to, and a majority of my patients are on the products. So as I'm starting to see the same patients come through and thinking, okay, now there's not a new person to present this to, I was having to ponder, okay, then what do people do? I think anybody that knows me knows this is my first rodeo with network marketing. So, I have at least had exposure to people like Vicky and Jackie and Valerie, and know that people do succeed wildly in this business. So I'm going through my head, well, then what do I do now? And started contemplating, well, the obvious next thing would be to shift the focus away from what people's health needs are, like people that I know, they're my patients, I know what their health needs are, and start thinking about people who might have financial needs. Even if I go through in my head patients who would love to be on the product but feel like they can't afford it, it started to unfold in my mind that maybe that is the mind shift that I needed to go through and start thinking in terms of helping people isn't only about their health. Just like in the office, when I sit down to talk with the patient for an hour, we don't always only talk about the aches and pains or whatever. Sometimes we're talking about spiritual things. Sometimes we're talking about emotional things. We're thinking of the patient as a whole person, which also includes financial needs. And just like I've been saying that in this day and age, everybody needs help with their vagus nerve because of what's happened to us all through COVID. And actually, COVID is the reason for it. We're all, the culture at large is going through financial hardship. The economy still hasn't reached its bottom. That's not going to get better. And more people are going to be waking up to the fact that if all the money they can make is what they make per hour, they're not going to be able to keep up with their financial need. And so it started to unfold to me that would be where I needed to shift my mind to move my business forward. And then that really was not just confirmed, but blown up at the meeting, that approaching people about this is a great, really a once in a lifetime business opportunity that really has no limit, that can go so much further than what we can imagine. And we saw that with I'm sure this is going to evolve over time, but virtually every top producer in the company that I'm aware of, we saw this at Kuchara and we saw it again this weekend. They're people who financially were pressed with their backs against the wall. That's how those are the words they used, and have pulled out from that position of wondering if there was any hope for themselves and their families financially, and now just soaring like higher than you could have ever imagined in their income. The one that comes to mind most is Allison Byler, and what a crazy good story that is, of being so financially down. I don't even know what word to use to describe that. That at one point they woke up one morning and found that their creditors had emptied out their bank accounts and they couldn't even buy food for their families. And now here, 1 year later, they're making more money than they ever imagined. So those examples in front of us are so helpful in this day and time. I'm sure the day is going to come that some of our lead speakers are going to be people that have never really known financial hardship and things like that. But right now, the leaders are the ones whose backs were against the wall. And I think that message is going to resonate with everybody. Not everybody's back is against the wall, but almost everybody can reach behind them and feel the wall,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. And I think about, I was having this conversation with Cheryl, who's on our call tonight, the day after I got back, that talking to physicians, I mean, I can speak as an insider there. My mind is often at what's going to happen to my practice if the people who can afford to see me now get to the point where they can't afford to see me. Well, this is the answer for that too. For people to be able not just that yes, they can get a side gig and they can get extra income coming in and make life better, or they can transform their lives and get out from the burden that they're under. I don't really know a better way to describe that. So that was really exciting to me to see that and see it, the examples of it over and over again, how many people have done that.
Well, that's very impressive coming from you as a doctor, but that goes to show that you do whole body care, because stress kills and people have been struggling and suffering. And the nice thing is, when people come into our company, they're not given extra kudos because they've come from another company and they have big legs or they have a big Rolodex. Everybody has to start at the bottom because it's binary. And there isn't anybody that is going to be put anywhere else other than the fact that they have to start like all the rest of us. And that's what makes us all relate to each other, and we're a team. I know I put you on the spot today, but you want to tell us a little about those greens? Because that just came out. I realized I was taking it wrong because I was just doing one little thing. And then I realized, oh no, you're supposed to do two little things. And I don't know if it's the two little sticks or if it comes in a scoop now. But when I did the doubles, oh, there we go. Look at it. Keller's, he's so good. There it is. And it tastes so good if you do it right. You see,
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
little, oh, there, it's a scoop.
Yeah,
Oh
it's a
boy.
scoop. Yeah. And the serving is one scoop. On the back of it, it says serving is 7.6 grams. And I actually measured that last night. A scoop is 10 grams. And I'm good with that, a little bit extra.
Well,
It,
that's
it
good
tastes,
because none of us are. So what'd you think?
yeah.
What'd you find out?
Well, it tastes great for one thing.
Mhm.
It has 25 calories per serving. I mean,
Mm.
you'll use that up when you sneeze. Um, the macronutrients like proteins and carbs and that kind of thing are tiny, like negligible, but the nutrients that are in it are like over the top. There's a blend of dark green leafy vegetables that part of it is identified as an alkalinizing blend with that the idea that for part of the day, and I'm going to throw this in there, it doesn't say it on the label, the best time of day to alkalinize your body is just before you go to bed. You can't really expect to alkalinize it during the day because every time you put something in your stomach and produce more acid, you're going to push your body more toward an acidic state. But at night, when you go to bed and you haven't eaten for a while, if you take this and alkalinize your body, then you're going to actually be detoxing your kidneys specifically while you sleep. So
Okay, good
that's
tip.
a huge
Very good.
advantage. And then they have one category is cardiac health and blood flow support, and they list the nutrients involved with that. Inflammatory and blood sugar support, energizing blend and mood support, detox and digestive support. They've really included every vegetable category here. And all of these ingredients include the polyphenols, antioxidants. There's probiotics and prebiotics in it, digestive enzymes in it, and numerous superfoods. I think it says over 100 superfoods are included. Over 40 superfoods are included in it. And it is gluten-free and it tastes good.
Yeah.
Chelsea was commenting that she didn't exactly say that she was expecting a chalky taste, but I kind of got the idea that's what she was expecting. And she was commenting how it actually tastes good. It doesn't taste chalky. So
Yeah, it tastes fresh.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not the same as having food on your plate. You still need to eat food that's on a plate. Hopefully, food that when you look at it, you can tell what it is. But this is a great way to get some veggies in, which is what most of us are deficient in. So I think it's going to be a great product. And I started taking it. I took some samples that they had in the product room, and then have been taking it since I got home. Bought this package while I was there. So
Awesome.
I think it's going to be a great thing that probably at least a third to a half of people out there already think of these greens as being a necessary part of the diet because it's hard to get everything you need on a plate.
Well, that's why it's called a supplement.
Yeah.
We can't replace our foods, but to have a supplement that's going to be beneficial and worthwhile, I thought it was great and it tastes great. So, all right, Dr. Renee, you did fantastic. Wait till the next product. You'll have to do a little commercial for us then.
Okay.
But we're happy because we're going to see you in March. So thank you, honey. Okay, Valerie and Jackie, me, are going to go through very quickly. Let me see this product. I'm pretty sure Keller's got this going. Do you have the flyer on this? It's called Core Immunity. Okay. Valerie's laughing. Valerie's always laughing at me. Okay, so since I'm still traveling and I made a mental bet and lost my mind, Um, I'm going to just briefly read a synopsis of this, but there we go. See that? Stephen, get down with your bad self. Very good. It's a pretty color. I spent an hour talking to the developer, Dr. Jeff. Um, I don't even know his last name. What's his last name, Keller? Stephen, do you remember?
Roar, Christy Roar's brother.
That's
Roar.
right.
I don't remember his last
He
name.
is the nicest guy, and how he started out by telling us why he developed this product is because his child, what, Stephen?
His kid, what, had a lung tumor or something. So,
Yes.
you know, for me, that's always, I always like to look at not just the product, but what is the core motivation behind the product will often tell you more about the product's effectiveness than what shows up on the label. And so
100%.
when you're a genius, very smart doctor, and you're like, I got to make something to help my kid, you can take to the bank how effective that's going to be, right? We're not cutting corners on
100%.
ingredients. We're not skimping. No, it's like, this has got to work or else.
And he did spend time in the nutraceutical world,
Yeah.
but that wasn't his main practice. And then when his child went into the hospital, and you're right, he had tumors in his lungs. I'm trying to remember everything. You guys will be hearing the rest of that story. But we
He had part of his
actually,
lung
when he
taken out,
started,
actually, if I remember.
huh?
He had part of his lung removed.
Right. But when we all started hearing this story, our jaws were on the ground. We couldn't really remember much, except that that story was frightening, and he had to go and get the wisdom of God to put into a product for his immune system to help his son. And I'll just read you a little bit what it says. Supports your body's natural defenses with core immunity, a comprehensive blend of immune boosting nutrients and powerful antioxidants. This advanced formula combines essential vitamins and minerals like vitamin C, D3, magnesium, and zinc with plant-based compounds such as quercetin, black cumin, bromelain, and coenzyme Q10 to help strengthen immunity, reduce inflammation, and promote overall wellness. So whether it's a cold season or daily resilience, you're after the core immunity has your back. So now I immediately went to go talk to the doctor because he was explaining that there was bromelain in there and how it uptook the quercetin into the body. And I love quercetin. And all of us during COVID, we were always going after quercetin. I did the black cumin, also zinc, all the things that we were, doing to boost up our immune system that they all told us not to do, but we did. And then when I saw the bromelain was in there, I went to go talk to him, and he was telling me everything. And then I said, now bromelain, it comes from pineapple, and it's in the core of the pineapple. And I said, when we were kids, when you're young and dumb, we used to eat pineapple till our tongue bled. And he goes, yep. And I said, so I know it does something else, doesn't? He says, if anybody's concerned about spike proteins, it's something to take. So I realized if anybody is struggling over what happened during COVID times, this is the product you want to be in. And so I was talking to Valerie about this, and I said, Valerie, did you get this product? I like this product. I talked to the doctor and I saw everything that's in it. And I love bromelain because I know what it does. And she goes, you know what? And then I said, okay, you have to tell everybody. So tell what happened.
Well, first of all, I've been in the wellness industry using natural products for almost 6 decades. Yep, I know. Anyway, so I have shelves full of everything. And if I'm convinced that when somebody tells me something it's really good, I just buy it and use it. And so, I use all the products that MPG has that are presented to us for wellness. And so, yeah, I grabbed the core immunity product right away. And look, I take a lot of magnesium, I take all kinds of minerals and all that. So I have learned that you need to hydrate yourself when you travel. I always take my magnesium with me and I take everything, but I know for sure when I travel, I'm going to have leg cramps. I mean, it's just what happens. So the first couple of nights that I was down in Denton, I just jump up in the middle of the night because I had those silly cramps, and you're like, "Ah." Anyway, so I get the product the whenever it was, so it must have been whenever Saturday, I don't remember. When I got it, I just took a couple of them, shoved them in my mouth, handed them to Neil. Here, take this. And we take it. And by golly, no leg cramps, even on that, not the rest of that trip on the way home. And nothing. When we got home, I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord. So then I discovered that inside of this, I started looking at, because, I barely looked at it. I just did what I was told. And so I'm looking in there and I'm like, oh, look, there's black cumin and there's bromelain. And I'm like, okay, what do these things do anyway? So I started looking them all up, and I'm like, oh, I think it might be the black cumin seed. I don't know. But I just know that this product is amazing. And actually, at this point, I will not be without it, along with all the other things. So that's my testimony.
That is awesome. I just heard about this today. I said, so what do you think of this? Oh yeah, no more leg cramps. I go, what? So we're telling you guys this because nobody else knows, and we want you to know and get out there and share it. So thank you, Valerie. Awesome. It is a killer product. I'm doing it myself. And when we were in the hotel room staying, and we had a gal with us. I don't know if Candy's on with us. Lisa, is Candy on with us? But you're muted, babe. You're muted. There you go.
She's probably driving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not likely she's here.
Well, but what happens with her is that she does drive the handicap and takes them to certain hospital facilities. And she says, I can't really talk to these people because they don't have a lot of money and they all need the product. She wants to introduce things to them. They don't have a lot of money. And then Lisa said, well, just do the insider program. And she goes, the what? So Lisa, you said it the best. So tell everybody what the new insider program's all about.
Okay, the Insider program, $39. With that, you can put your customer in the binary. They end up in your binary, in your legs. For $39, they get a sample pack of Fix. They have access to their own back office. They can see volume and potential commission build underneath them. So everything that they're seeing is happening live as well, like it is for us as ISRs. They have the option to upgrade to an ISR at any point in 28 days. They have 28 days to make a decision. In their back office, they see a calendar countdown so they know how much time they have left to make this decision. As an insider, they also get 10% off their orders. Like I said, they can order through their own back office and they can shop, explore the company, see all the things. They can add people as well. They can add people to the binary. So they've got action that they can take as they're looking and making decisions. They have access to Campfire and ACE. When they sign up, when you send them a link that's in your back office with the other links to the websites that corporate provides, There's a link in the back office that has an insider link. You send that to them, and when they join that, they also get the invite to Campfire. And so they have access to all these amazing things as well. Yes, and I feel like the when they do decide to upgrade to an ISR, the fee is waived. They want to upgrade for a 229 kit. Well, the fee, the 29 business cost is waived because they've already paid it with the $39 to join for the 28 days. I feel like I've covered everything.
Well, the only thing is they cannot make money.
Exactly. It's the potential. They can see the potential of their commissions and the volume. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Awesome job, because it's really, it's a serious opportunity for those that want to be involved, but they think financially they can't. But this is a way it's a stepping stone for them.
But you want to try to get them in as an ISR if you can.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah,
this is
for
like,
sure.
yeah, you don't want to just pile everyone in with this, because once people see this, they will go for the wholesale account and become part of this.
Yeah.
If they can,
Sure.
but if they can't, now we have an answer. Okay,
Right.
Lisa, awesome. Okay, Mr. Keller. He wants to talk about the campfire. And we had boot camp. Now it's called what, Stephen?
What is it? Global Freedom League? Is that what they called it?
League, yeah. Uh-huh.
And Take Back Your Life.
GFL.
Yeah,
We
I
have
think,
all these
you
acronyms,
know,
ISRs. But go ahead, tell us about the campfire.
well, it's like I was in Manatech before it was called Manatech, and it was Emprise.
Yep. Oh, we
And,
know that.
someone said, oh, this is an opportunity for a do-over. Here's one thing to think about. I saw a lot of people kind of observing it become very, very successful in Manatech, but the more successful they got, the harder they worked. And a lot of people really got burned out. Does that make sense? Big time. And I learned from a guy who built $1 billion in cumulative sales in under 5 years. I learned so much from him. One thing he said, he goes, "Don't do anything when you're small that you can't do when you're big." And I'll repeat that. Don't do anything when you're small that you can't do anything with your big. And this technology of Campfire, of Take Back Your Life, of everything they're talking about, for me, it does a lot of things. One thing it actually it's the solution for getting rid of my network marketing guilt. What do I mean by that? You see, I'm extremely good at recruiting, right? But the problem with that is I can put a lot of people in, but I'm like, oh my God, I haven't followed up with that person. And are they orphaned? Are they getting the right information? I mean, I was like, it's like, and with this, you have an opportunity to really prevent orphans in your organization. In other words, so we have two parts of this system, right? We have for distributors and for prospects. It's two very different things. And for distributors, you're going to have the opportunity for everyone getting the original information. That's why they called it Campfire. So you're right by the fire, so you have all the best information. So you know everything, so you can stay excited, so we can communicate directly to everyone. Otherwise, really what you're dealing with is like, you're like, okay, I gotta have a WhatsApp group, but some people aren't in WhatsApp, and I gotta text people or email people or put them on YouTube channel, or and it's like it's overwhelming for people how many different places of information there are, and then people just start ignoring it, right? And so the distributor facing side is phenomenal for making sure everyone's on the same page, everyone's doing the same thing. You get the beautiful source of information whenever you want it, and you know exactly where it's coming from, right? In terms of a prospecting tool, there's a lot of issues right now. One is Facebook, I've built very large businesses using Facebook and using Facebook testimonial groups, but it's like it's a mystery what the Facebook algorithm is. It makes sense. There's so many tricks. Like, for example, people, I see people all the time. They put a link on their Facebook post. I'm like, you can't do that because Facebook won't show your post to anybody. But you don't know that, right? Or, in one company, I put probably 700 potential prospects in a testimonial group, right? But then what happens if the person who owns the testimony group wants to do something else? Or is Facebook even going to show anyone who's in that group what's in the group? Very little, right? So what we have is an opportunity. And another problem with it, oh my goodness, as a leader, you have these crazy problems like, oh, I put so and so in a group, but this person stole them. They were mine. I'm like, like drama out the wazoo with this. And you're like, oh, I got to start my own group because that group's not safe. Anyone ever run into this? Like crazy town, like crazy drama with this, right? And then you have all sorts of 5 different groups running around because everyone wants to control it and no one feels safe. Well, the great thing about this is now you have a beautiful place to send people that's compliant and compelling. And when you send a prospect an invite to that link, they're connected to you. Does that make sense?
Right.
So they're not going anywhere.
Yes.
So you have one link where people can go, they can go start browsing. Does that make sense? Oh, I like the products. I want to learn about the business, right? And when they want information, then the link is right there, right? A lot of times you'll put people in Facebook testimonial groups. They won't remember who put them there. Why? Because you didn't follow up. Most people don't follow up. Does that make sense? They're like, this is amazing. I have no idea I got here. I want to buy it. Who can sell it to me? It's like, oh my God. I have 10 people going, ooh, I'll sell it to you. Like, no, like, stop. And so for leaders, this is going to get rid of a lot of headaches for you. It's going to be a phenomenal, phenomenal tool. Here's one thing to understand about, though. We are in like phase like 1.0. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The speed at which they're launching these tools are awesome, right? But you have like 1.0 and 2.0. Does that make sense? It's where like fine tuning it more, right? And so one thing I want to do for people is make sure I want to make sure that the training is done to the lowest common denominator. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
one thing you a lot of times see when people create this technology, they're like, they did not ask Aunt Betty from Nebraska if it makes sense to her. Everyone have an Aunt Betty, like she like barely copy and paste, and now you're wanting to use apps, right? There's going to be problems. Okay. So we realize that a lot of our potential business partners and customers are in that category. So that's going to be a passion of mine to make sure that we like, okay, let's simpler. That makes sense. So we can get everyone using this so everyone feels comfortable. Because if you don't, when you have clarity, then you take action. So if it's all confusing, people are like, I'm out. Okay, so that's, it's a phenomenal tool and it's going to take a little bit of training and it's going to evolve a bit. But wow, what a stunning tool. Because, you have people who built downlines with 1.5 million people. You think they know what they're doing, right? Here's an interesting thing. The top 3 people at Bootcamp, the top 3 distributors, they all have one thing in common. They were all mentored by the #1 earner in network marketing, period.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so when all 3 of those guys go, wow, this is going to revolutionize the whole industry and be incredible. I think my wife raised her hand and has something she wants to comment on it. 1 second here.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, there she is. Yes.
Can you see me?
Yes.
I talked to Jim and I asked him frankly, I don't know if you guys can put this on social media, but I said, how much did you guys invest in this event? And he said they're about $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think
As
that's
distributors, not corporate, understand.
as
Like,
distributors.
that's a distributor event.
That's big.
And all of the corporate team were there. So there's this union between corporate and the field that is very respectful and very honoring and very much in sync. Okay. And then you guys didn't talk about trainer school. Do you want me to touch on that?
Touch on that real quick, and then we're going to have Steve take us out, and then Dr. Vicky's going to end. So
Okay.
go ahead.
Well, one of the things they're doing that's really unique is trainer school. And so they are going to offer training to people of a certain rank, which is going to be Emerald. And then they're going to put those people on the stage. It's like a plug and play, right? So the people we heard train at this event are not going to be the same ones we hear at the next event. So,
Right.
and they're going to have regional events as well. So this event is the new culture of our company, are these events, and you're going to want to get your people there. But if you're interested in training, they're going to have character requirements as well. So that is, to me, very unique in this industry for them to actually say, no, your check doesn't get you up here. Who you are is going to be part of what gets you up here.
100%. That's very good. That was great input, Samara. Thank you. Okay, we've got, we got Steve. Steve's gonna give us a vision for the future, and Dr. Vicky's gonna take us to momentum. So where's Steve?
You know,
Is
here's one thing to think about because this is a common story. Solutions in life are often spiritually perceived before they're intellectually analyzed. Right? What do I
say
mean
that
by that?
again?
Your
Say it again.
biggest solutions in life are often spiritually perceived before they're intellectually analyzed.
Ooh, that's
What
deep,
do I mean by
Kelly.
that? And this is one reason why it's super important to let go of unforgiveness and bitterness and offense, especially towards your last opportunity, right? You got to let go of all that. So, because common thing you find with a lot of people here is they're like, this came across my path and I wasn't really interested, but something told me you will do this. And you're like, this doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense intellectually at first, but later you find out you're like, oh, okay, okay. Now, so, one of my mentors said this. He goes, the natural and the supernatural come together to make something extraordinary. And so, what I've, kind of my overall perception of this is so many things are coming together with this. You have timing, you have extraordinary owners who with amazing experience and integrity. You have these crazy synergy of these leaders who have who are who have laser like vision on integrity and what we're going to build and without
Mm-hmm.
compromise.
Mm-hmm.
You have some products that are mind boggling. It's like this thing we all had to sign an NDA for. Um, why do we get it? Right? Why
Right.
us? It's like because everything's coming together to do something extraordinary. So I
Yeah,
think one
that's
thing,
right.
as I was sitting there whole weekend that I thought to myself, I go, you know what? I go, I would trust this company and this culture to connect the people I care about and put them in this company and culture.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like,
Yeah, and that was the thing that was talked about, the culture, for
yeah,
sure. I always say we're born for such a time as this.
yeah. I was with another, I was with, I'll give you an example. I was involved with another company, and there was a guy in that company who had a whole WhatsApp group dedicated to what an abusive narcissist he was by other women in the company. And the company
What?
didn't do anything about it. They didn't care.
Really?
I promise you one thing, it's like this is gonna be a safe place for people, for integrity, for how you're treated, for what's allowed and not allowed. This is not like you get a pass because you're whatever. It's like we're
Yeah.
you know we're going to build something extraordinary here. So
Yeah,
I'm
no, that's
very
good.
grateful
Thank you,
to be here
Stephen.
and super excited about what that synergy means moving forward to build something extraordinary. So.
For sure. Shalette,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, take us out to the future,
All
but
right.
also Vicky's going to join you at the end about momentum.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just build on something Stephen just said, which was, as you know, I was with the company a month and a half or so before we ever launched it on August 1st, 2022. Have some history with Jim and Byron and some of the other founders. And the very first discussion we had was kept hearing a word called Mark. It was 222. It was Mark 222 is what we finally resolved. You need new wine and you need new wineskins. And so from the very beginning, the word was you can't just do this the way you've always done it. We're going to have to do something different. We're going to have to look at this different. We're in a different world post COVID. We're in a different time. We're in a different season. There's a convergence taking place. And so from the very beginning, the founders of this company and the founders in the leadership on the field side, we had this sense, Stephen, the spiritual sense, that something was different and we didn't know what that was. We just said, okay, let's start pioneering through the jungle and see where God leads us. And one thing fell into place after the other, one discovery after the other, one hardship, one setback after the other. But we just kept pressing forward, knowing that we were going to get someplace. And then Ace shows up, and then Fix shows up, and then other people show up right on time. And many of those people, in fact, most of those people were coming from some pretty difficult situations. And many of the people you're talking to right now, many of the people watching this right now are coming from very difficult situations, praying to God for an answer for their health, for their finances, for their families. And so all of that culminated into boot camp this past weekend, where it said two things: trust the training, because the training will guide you through the process, and also take back your life. Because what we see is a lot of people have been beat down, their constitution is weak, their character has been assaulted, and they're kind of afraid to dream again and really grab hold of that. And so the whole theme and what's going forward from here is it's time to take back your life. The vision for the future starts with your dream. It starts with your why. It starts with your reason for being here. And then the system, when you learn to really truly engage the system and trust the system and take hold of this thing, because it's not a lottery ticket. It's called network marketing, right? And you're going to put work into this, but you have everything you need to learn the tools. You have the coaching support. You have vast amount of experience in this team. And that's what's moving this whole project into the future, coupled with the fact that we've never had a market environment like this. The Make America Healthy Again movement. The there's a lot of things happening related to big pharma. And right now, we've got somebody who's about to become the Surgeon General of the United States that wrote the book on the shift into nutraceutical and wellness and how the system is broken, and that we have to come back to being proactive and preventative at the cellular level up for people. And so now we actually have an administration that is driving the messaging for that, and we've never had that before. And so that's something that's just opening the doors to bring our message and our influence to the marketplace like never before. And it's already a multi-trillion-dollar marketplace. And I shared with some of the leaders that, I use these big numbers that you just can't even comprehend. And I found one that even bigger here lately on longevity and what they call health span, not lifespan, but health span. The longevity and the health span, that's projected to be over a $20 trillion market in just the next few years. And that's right in the sweet spot of what we have and what we're doing, not to mention what's coming. So you've been hearing about people who had to sign non-disclosures agreement. And many of you are going to be hearing from your leaders. We're going to be asking you to sign a non-disclosure agreement, because right now, and I want to speak very clearly to this team, and this branch of the company. Right now, a lot of the momentum and a lot of the strength and the vitality, and I'm very grateful for it and thankful for it, is with Byron and Terry and those guys, and they're good friends of mine, and I appreciate and I love them, and I appreciate what they do. But the vast majority of nutraceutical wellness technology and the team and the company is right here. This
Right.
team has the vast majority of experience and knowledge in the health and wellness space, especially in scientific nutritional technologies or nutraceutical technologies. We're the team that has the most experience. And once you sign the NDA, I'm really looking forward to telling you about something that is going to be very impactful because we have that experience. They're entrusting this new solution to us first, for us to go first and to actually put it all together and set this train on the track for the rest of the company. But we're going to get a head start on that, not because, well, only because we have the team and we have the experience. That's why we're getting this opportunity. So many of you are going to be hearing from your leaders. They're going to be asking you to sign a non-disclosure agreement. We're going to have some other conversations. I'll give you one little hint, and that is, you heard as we were going through Fix and Fit, well, it's kind of Batman, but what if Robin was about to show up? We talked about Fix being Batman. We talked about Fit being Robin, and you had this little mystery going on between Batman and Robin, Batman and Robin. Well, what if Supermanin was about to show up? Okay. What if Supermanin was joining Batman and Robin? Sign the NDA and you'll find out what I mean. So that's, folks, we've been entrusted with a big responsibility here. And this is our time to shine. We got from here to the March event in St. Joe, Missouri. And I want to talk to you. I want to be able to share with you. I want to get this train on the track. And the other thing I've told Jim, I said, we're, the small team right now. We're about 10% of the company. But I told him, I said, you wait. When we get a hold of this and where we're going, and by the end of 2026, we are going to be the majority of the company. We're going to flip the leg and we're going to take this thing home. And we're just getting started. There's so many things that are in the pipeline. There's so many opportunities coming our way. The systems are getting better. We're innovating in product. We're innovating in the business development systems. We're innovating in training. There's more training coming your way that's going to be just break it down into the bite-sized pieces for the person who's the beginner. All of this has been in works for months and months and months, and it's now all starting to land in the very next several weeks. And so I can't wait to talk to the rest of you, to get some of you under the non-disclosure agreement, and to be able to share the details of where we're going in November. Before the end of November, we are going to have an opportunity to take this new responsibility to the world. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. So, Vicki, back to you.
You're on mute, Vic.
I know I'm unmuting right now.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I think a lot of us can put two and two together with that, Steve.
Not yet.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could get our nutraceuticals covered by insurance?
Yep.
So maybe that will happen in the future. But I wanted to say that we have our own trainer now. And this is a very unique gift that we have been given, to have this guy. I believe corporate's paying him, and he's part of corporate now, but he's our trainer. This guy is to the status of Tony Robbins, in my opinion. This guy is big, and his job and his desire is to train our people so that they can go out there and move it around, get our people to be successful. That's his job. He said that he has done this before in startup companies, and he thinks that our company is going to take it to the maximum. And if you think about, I don't remember when we were in Vegas last year, Las Vegas, but there were like 500 people there. At this event, there was 1,500, I think. Steve helped me.
Approximately.
Yeah, 1,500. So you can see that the momentum, it's growing. But this guy and his trainings are addicting. I want to go next weekend to one of his trainings because he does self-improvement, self-development, and he gives you the details, the facts. Here's what you have to do. And there's no reason why we can't do it. And along with it, he's really funny. He's like a comedian, but he's very powerful. He's got an incredible presence on stage, and his desire is to help us. So if you guys are smart, you're going to start attending these events because in my mind, I'm going to get as many of you to come as I can because he's going to train you for me. I won't be able to do as he will teach us the basics of sales. He teaches us the basics of how we feel and why we should not feel that way. Like Beth Derby talked about the cards. I mean, that was an incredible demonstration on stage. He was a card shark and he was looking for aces and he kept turning the cards. I took a long time. It took about 10 minutes for him to get the first ace. He finally got the ace. And he goes, this is what you have to do. You're going to get a 2, a 3, a 5, a 7. You're going to get all these cards, but they're not going to be your ace. They're not going to get it. So he says, you just have to keep going. It's a numbers game, you guys. But our next event, I wanted to talk about that, is in March 26th to the 29th. And it's called Momentum. And those of you who aren't in the campfire, you have to let your upline know so that we can help you to join it. You don't have to join ACE to be in there, but you're probably going to want to eventually. But if you're in Campfire and you go to event details, you'll see all the information on this event that's coming up March 26th to March 29th. It's in St. Joseph, Missouri, and it's going to be in an arena. And we're going to be staying in hotels that are very near there or Airbnbs. And I don't know how many people it holds, but I think we're going to fill it. And the tickets right now are $199. And what's great is you can buy vouchers for this price, $199, meaning if you have people that want to go and suddenly they're new and it's getting close to the event, and you can just say, hey, I'll give you one of my vouchers. Why don't you just come? And they can pay you reimburse you $199. I think it's important that they pay for it, in most cases, because you have to give and receive. I think it's important. If they put out, some money, I think they'll pay more attention and get more out of it. That's just my opinion. And then they're going to have on the 26th, I believe, or 27th, they're going to be having some kind of class. I can't remember what it is, but it's going to be free to us, which he normally charges thousands of dollars per person. So he's giving us the best. He's probably the best trainer, one of the best trainers in the world, and he does these trainings around the world. But look at this guy is going to want us to succeed. So if you're smart, you're going to you're going to come, you're going to encourage your people to come. And I can tell you this, and going to every conference and regionals for 35, 40 years. I never came away energized like this. The other ones, it took me 3 days to recover, at least. And it was brutal. It was tiring. It was hard. This, you feel totally uplifted. You can do this. And he makes you feel like you can do it. And it's not hard. We just have to work. And he says you work and work and work until you get the success that you want. You just work the success until you get it. So everybody put it on your calendar and let's all try to go there because You won't be sorry. It's such an experience. I'm sure I'm speaking for all of those who went. And by the way, congratulations, all you guys. We had a pretty great big crowd there. I think we had about 25 people there. So congratulations, all you leaders and everybody who showed up and paid the money to go and went out on the limb and did it. You know, even if you couldn't afford it, you went out. And I, for one, didn't know what to expect. But I can tell you, he's got more things up his sleeve, Mark does, that is
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
astounding. So you guys do what you can. I mean, start saving $20 a week, whatever you have to do to get there. Start a savings account, put it to the side, and just start saving to go to this thing, because we are in such an incredible place. If we can just get people there, he will do the rest for us. And people, like you heard Beth, I mean, she didn't even leave yet. She goes, I'm going to be Emerald. And I mean, she's inspired, and all the work that she's done, I know she'd let me say this, but she has probably talked to tens of people, 20, 30, 40 people maybe. And she hasn't got anybody. She's a silver, but she hasn't really gotten the responses. And once she saw his card being turned, she knew that all she had to do is keep turning the cards. That's it. That's all you have to do, you know, to get the
And he's
hate.
so funny. He goes, "Oh, here's a deuce. Oh, we all know about the deuces." You know, and he comes out like a sergeant. He goes, "What'd you say?" "It's sir. Yes, sir." We had fun. What we want to do, like Dr. Vicky said, get everyone there, because he does the work for you. There's no way you have what this guy has to jack up your people and say, turn to you and say, that's it, I'm going Emerald. That's it,
I
I'm
mean,
going Diamond.
he taught us how to close. He told us what
Yeah.
not to do. And I mean, it's so simple the way he put it. He told us exactly what to do, step by step. And it took, what, 10 minutes for him to do that?
Yeah.
That's it. It's simple.
Yeah.
But you guys, I'm telling you, you are in such an incredible position, all of you. We're at the very beginning of this. You guys, if you take advantage of this, you're going to be so happy, and you're going to make so many people happy, and you're going to make your family happy. This company is not just going for success, we're going for legacy. We want to be around for our children and grandchildren. This company is not going to go away. We want to be like Amway, who's been around since when? Since dirt, you know? So this is going to be incredible. And everybody, I mean, I can quote Dr. Collette. She says out of the 70, she probably has 100 people now in product, but she says every single person has told me that they have joy in their life now. What's better than that? Joy,
Right.
you know? So you guys,
Yeah. Well,
take
on
a
that
look.
note,
Yeah,
we're
take a
going to
look.
say goodbye to, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you so much for participating. We're going to have a few more of these. We want to get the NDAs to you guys. If you haven't, get to your upline and ask about it, because we are the chosen. And you'll learn more about that. But in the meantime, thank you for joining us. And if you have any other suggestions, or you want to tell us what you thought of all of this in the first place, then let's go for it. And next time we're going to see Larry go to the momentum thing.
And
Awesome.
check in, yeah, check into
Hey,
WhatsApp.
Lisa,
Check
just
into
pressure.
WhatsApp. Check into WhatsApp, you guys.
Yes, check into
Often,
WhatsApp all the
often
time,
through the day.
because we'll be giving you instructions. Okay, guys, thank you so much. We love you. God bless you. And onward, Christian soldiers.
Yeah, exactly.
I will I'll upload this to YouTube and have it in the group tonight. And
Awesome.
if anyone has any other training they want, just let me know and I'll create it and post it.
Can we
Okay.
get Steve to say a prayer? Steve, can you say a prayer for us?
Gillette.
Yes. Hold on,
Where's
let me grab
Gillette?
him. Shouldn't.
Where'd Gillette? Oh, here's Steve. Here he comes.
All
Steve
right.
Gillette.
Well, yeah, you have to make sure it's Stephen Keller or Steve Shillette,
Yeah,
because
just call me
know.
Keller from now on.
I'm
Keller.
That will help.
doing that.
All right. Father God, I just thank you for the opportunity for us to gather together tonight. I thank you for the opportunity you've entrusted to us. And I thank you for giving us the strength of vision, the confidence, and the conviction to boldly go out to the people in front of us who are desperately seeking solutions for their health, for their finances, and for their families. And so, Lord, that's what Vicki said it just now. One of the other things that we're focused on is building a legacy, something that is generational, that our kids and our grandkids and their children and their children's children can receive the blessing of this. So, Father God, I just pray your blessing upon every household represented here. I pray that everybody will catch the fire in their heart to go seek out the people who are desperately seeking for solutions and help us take this message of hope out to the world. And hope stands for help others prosper everywhere. And so we're hope patriots. We are hope patriots taking this message to the world. And that's a great gift that you've given us. And so, Lord, I just pray your hand of protection upon everybody. I pray you would just bring the people into our path and help us touch their lives, change their lives, lift their lives, and take back their life. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray, and amen.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, guys. Hey, Keller, do I close out or you close out?
I'll end the meeting.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.